About 8 months ago, my girlfriend closed on a townhouse and I moved in a few weeks later. She has a 7-year-old son from a previous relationship. Things were solid at first, and I was happy to chip in even though my name wasn't on anything. We didn't add me to the title because my credit was shit then, and I already own a small condo that I'm paying mortgage on. Her mortgage is roughly $3,200 a month. I was putting in $1,400 monthly. About the ceiling for me was student loans, a car payment, and some credit card debt. Last month, I went away for a weekend trip. When I got back Sunday night, her ex, the kid's dad, was at the house with a suitcase, setting up in the guest room. When I asked her what the fuck was happening, she said that her ex was going to stay with us for a while because her son missed him and it'll make co-parenting easier. I told her I wasn't third-wheeling in my own relationship, and we had a fight. I packed a bag and left. It's been 2 weeks and now she's upset that I won't move back or keep contributing to the mortgage. We talked and I've explained I'm not paying for a place I have zero ownership in for her to shack up with her ex. She says she would never have bought the place if she'd had to cover the mortgage on her own, and only did so because there was an expectation I'd contribute. So she sees this as me not holding my end of the deal. But I also didn't agree to be in a throuple. She says I'm crazy for even suggesting her and ex are up to anything sexual. Yeah, sure. Any thoughts? Edit. No, the ex is still there. She says she doesn't want him to leave because he's very involved with their son. She says it like a jab at me because I didn't want to split parenting right in the middle like she wanted to. It's not my kid, so I didn't want to do a whole 50% of parenting. The ex doesn't work as far as I know. He's on disability, I believe. No, it was never discussed with me prior to him moving in that he'd be living with us. I'd never agree to a setup like that. In hindsight, it does look like this was the plan all along. I know they ended on amicable terms and she has never said anything bad about him, ever. Now some comments. Ah, yes, the principled exit that just so happens to line up with the next mortgage cycle. You were totally fine benefiting from the bigger place when your $1,400 covered part of the overhead. But the second she put her son's interest first, your boundaries grew 10 feet tall. I'm sure the bank will be deeply moved by your statement on personal space when the payment hits. Wild how I have no ownership becomes an issue now, after months of living like a partial owner. You didn't insist on a written agreement when the living arrangement favored you, so you can't complain now. She told you point blank she couldn't have bought the place without your contribution, and your response is essentially, tough. Sounds like everyone made assumptions instead of agreements. You moved in and helped with the bills. She planned her budget around that, and now there's a third adult in the house you never signed up for. Hard to blame you for leaving, but I can see why she's panicking about money. Next time, man up instead of running at the first sign of inconvenience. Bro, you made the right call. If you're not on the lease or deed and the ex moved in, you don't need to keep paying there. It's okay to care about them and still protect your peace and money. If you ever consider going back, only do it with a clear written plan. No ex living there, and your name goes on the deed. Otherwise, keep your own place. Story 2, I had an emotional and physical affair for nearly 2 years. That's 1/4 of our marriage. I'm surprised he's still here. Since D-Day, he keeps saying I have a very just get over it and move on attitude. I don't see it that way. I just need to move past this, fast. Maybe that's pushing me to push him to his limits, but that's just it. He's in individual therapy. I've dragged my feet on starting my own because I'm scared it'll pull up things I'm not ready to face. I don't know how I'll live with that. I have done the concrete things he asked. I blocked and deleted AP everywhere, changed a few routines, share passwords, and try to be where I say I'll be with proof without him having to ask. Day to day, I'm doing my best to show up and make our home feel safe. Even with that, he's still hurting. Little things set off that pit-in-the-stomach look. Songs, random lines in a show, couples joking about work crushes in public. He's told me plainly he doesn't think he'll ever trust me 100% again. And there's a lot of resentment sitting in different corners of our marriage. I hear it, and I hate that I caused it. He's now talking about a temporary separation. He wants me to move to the rental next door to see if anything changes, or to be ready to file if it doesn't. Part of me hopes space might lower the temperature and give us both room to work. Another part of me is terrified it's the first step toward the end. The timing is awful. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and our anniversary are coming up. There never seems to be a good time. He's planning to talk it through with his therapist this week. He told me he was trying not to do anything drastic last week. I'm trying to accept that if this is what he needs, my job is to respect it and keep working on myself, not argue the calendar. I'm sick of the constant dread too, because I built the mess we're standing in. I want a real fresh start, but I know I don't get to skip steps. I'm reaching out to book my own therapist this week and will also look for a different couples counselor if he's open to it. For other waywards, how did you push past the fear to start individual therapy when you knew it might blow open everything you've been avoiding? Update. 2 weeks after I moved into the rental next door, a guy knocked on the door and handed me an envelope. Divorce papers. He texted a minute later. Don't make this difficult. I thought to myself, well, that's audacious. He's the one who is ending things. I set up a consult with an attorney for Tuesday. I also started individual therapy last week. I told my therapist the truth. I'm scared that cooperating makes the divorce feel real. She said it's already real. Cooperating just keeps it calmer for the time being. That clicked even if I don't like it. I've done the concrete stuff I promised. A P is blocked and deleted. I share my location. He has access to accounts, and I over-communicate plans before I leave the rental. I know none of that rebuilds trust by itself. He told me months ago he may never fully trust me again, but I'm trying, and I won't give up until I've tried my very best. What I can do now is simple, not easy. No begging, no bargaining, no surprises with money, no trying to recruit family or friends to my side. Keep receipts, keep the schedule steady, answer questions plainly, show up for therapy because I need it, not because it might win him back. The holidays are close, and everything feels up in the air. We had a plan, now we'll probably split time. I'm bracing for questions from family about what went wrong. My mom already knows, because he told her without even giving me a heads up, and she blames me. I fear for when Dad finds out, and the extended family. Hopefully he'll have the grace to leave them alone. I'd love to say this is the turning point back to us. It might be the turning point toward being decent exes. I can't believe I made this mess. Sometimes I'm just in shock. How?